Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Tonight, our presentation of colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, is from Inca High School. Inca High School cadets are instructed by Major Kevin Dean Bohr, U.S. Air Force retired, and Master Sergeant Douglas Draper, also U.S. Air Force retired. Please rise.
Pledge not used. Carry colors. Forward, march. White hope. Close. Present colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors. Close. Forward, march.
Tonight, I ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I will seek an approval for the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Our superintendent's comments. Thank you.
Good evening, board members, teammates, parents, members of the community, and it's always a pleasure to welcome our students as well. This past Saturday, we had the opportunity to celebrate our reason for being as 213 graduates from our 11 high schools crossed the stage in Thomas Wolfe Auditorium, having earned their high school diplomas. This was the largest cohort of mid-year graduates in school system history. I'm so proud and appreciative of all of our teachers from kindergarten through 12th grade. I spoke with one graduate who shared with me that she had already started her classes as a student at UNC Charlotte. Another shared that he had already started working in his dream job. Still another was working in a new job before starting her college career this fall. Some of the graduates were graduating early. Others had taken a little longer pathway before reaching graduation. Regardless of the pathway to the success they are on, we're ready to cheer them on as they go out to make a tremendous difference in this world. I'd like to especially thank all of our teammates who worked so very hard to create such a beautiful memory for our graduates and their families. This week, 14 students representing each of our districts joined together with Mr. Huff and Mrs. Reed, our assistant superintendents, as we relaunched our Student Advisory Council. This group shared their individual and collective thoughts on our school system and how we might continue to improve our service to students. I'd like to offer congratulations to the 10 Buncombe County Schools teachers who just earned their initial National Board Certified Teacher status, and to the 51 teachers across the county who successfully renewed their National Board status. According to the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, quote, National Board certification is the most respected professional certification available in education and provides numerous benefits to teachers, students, and schools. We believe and are working to confirm that Buncombe County Schools continues to rank number 18 in the entire country in the number of National Board certified teachers employed in the school system. Congratulations again to each of these teachers and to their families and to the schools who supported them through the process. The Buncombe County Schools Foundation is excited to announce that it's scholarship season. The foundation provides over $300,000 in scholarships each year to our students. Information on all of the scholarships can be found on the Buncombe County Schools Foundation website. If you know a senior in our school system, please encourage them to apply for one of these great scholarships. I would like to share with the board and with the community that Buncombe County Schools is hosting an educator career fair on Saturday, March 4th, 2023 from 9 to 12 right here. in this building. This is an amazing school system, and we're looking for incredible and dedicated educators to join our team. If you're interested in attending the job fair or in applying for a position, please call the school system or refer to our website. I'm excited to share that this month we'll have the opportunity to enjoy the talents of our youngest student musicians as our elementary and intermediate all-county chorus will perform on February 28th at 6 p.m. at Brookstone Church in Weaverville. Please make plans to join us as students from across the county come together in song. Finally, the superintendent's listening and learning adventure continues as I spend my first 100 days as your superintendent in discovery and exploration. I've now visited all 45 of our schools and have spent a full school day in 18 schools. We've conducted town hall-style meetings in 4 of our 6 districts and will be in the North Buncombe district next week. I'm tremendously enjoying the opportunity to meet parents and community members, students, and school system staff members. As I share each month, we recognize that we stand on the shoulders of giants. We face the challenges before us. We know that students, families, and the community have never needed a strong, loving, and caring school system as much as they do now. We accept this challenge. We commit to each and every one of our students. We will elevate to new and majestic heights. We will give our all because our students are worthy of our very best efforts. To our team and to our board members, thank you for all that you do for our students, families, teachers, and staff of Buncombe County Schools. Madam Chair, this concludes my comments.
Thank you. At this time, on the agenda is good news, and I'll introduce Tim Reeves.
Chair, members of the board, for good news tonight, I'd like to invite Dr. Shane Cassada, our Director of Student Services, to honor our 3 school counselors of the year and our school social worker of the year.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Jackson, distinguished guest. We are pleased to be here tonight. I'm here with Shannon Martin, our Assistant Director of Student Services, to honor our department's counselors and social workers of the year. Many of our counselors and social workers have come to honor their colleagues that are here tonight to serve our 45 schools, and we're very pleased and honored that they're here as well, because to be named and honored from this group is a great honor indeed, for sure. Some philosophers have said that there are 4 kinds of knowledge: things that we know, things that we know we don't know, and then those things we don't know that we don't know. But there is another group of knowledge called unknown knowns. And these are things that you know, but you have forgotten, or that you have failed to put into the forefront of your mind, but you know them. We've always known that social workers and counselors are really at the front line of some of our students' best and worst days, and they do courageous work. But over the last few years, we realized that perhaps we had forgotten how valuable they really were. And I think over the course of the last 2 years in particular, their value to us in this district and to our schools, to our families, and more importantly to our students has only been highlighted. And so we are very honored to be able to honor these 4 individuals tonight. We'll start with our elementary counselor of the year, Miss Leah Davidson. Miss Davidson has been a school counselor with us for 9 years this month. Working with students from West Buncombe Elementary, she has made an impression on children, families, and her colleagues. Leah received many nominations from her peers, support staff, teachers, and others, and some of these statements are as follows. Leah goes above and beyond to make sure our students' needs are met, that they are able to be successful within the classroom. She takes time with each student who needs her and will drop anything to give. Giving, giving, giving of her time, her talents, her private resources. Our school and students are blessed by her in a gazillion ways. She is a problem solver. Leah offers strategies and counsels students She has an amazing relationship with frequent contacts with parents. She typifies everything a school counselor should be and do. Her heart is huge, and we are so thankful to have her at West Buncombe. As you can see, Ms. Davidson has a huge impact on her school. As the social and emotional needs of our students have grown exponentially, Leah has stepped up and worked tirelessly to serve her students. We are honored and grateful to serve with Leah as a student services teammate. Congratulations, Leah. Our middle school counselor of the year, Miss Buffy Wethington. She has served the students and families of Buncombe County School at Owen Middle since 2010. Buffy came to us from the world of mental health, which has enhanced her work as a school counselor, especially over the last several years as the middle school has supported students with increased emotional and mental health needs. In the nominations she received, Buffy's colleagues and agency partners told us the following: "I can only describe Miss Wethington as one of the most selfless humans that I know. She has an extraordinary knack of knowing just what a student needs to hear and presents it as if they need to hear it. Counseling young adults is a difficult task, and she has implemented so many things that make sure our students at Owen Middle know how to center themselves, think positively about all situations, and come out of some very dark places. Buffy is such an amazing counselor for our students." Along with her partner school counselor, Buffy helped Owen Middle be the first school to initiate the Start With Hello program, an initiative of the Sandy Hook Foundation. And students loved the week of activities and have continued some of that work throughout the year as it progresses. Our work is made better by having Buffy as a part of our student service team. Congratulations, Buffy. Our high school counselor of the year, Libby Wicker. She has been a school counselor with Buncombe County Schools since 2013. Libby has worked in a couple of schools, but is now an important part of the Irwin High School community. Despite the incredible workload of a high school counselor, you will never see Libby without a smile on her face. When nominating Libby, her colleagues told us, "Libby works above and beyond in her role to help students be successful, comfortable, knowledgeable, and confident. She helps students with 504s, she works with her entire caseload, and then helps other students that reach out to her to make sure they are ready for graduation and post-secondary goals. She works with teachers to move students around to be successful in their classes. She is kind and friendly the entire time. She drives activity buses. Kudos to her, Jeremy Stowe. Speaks Spanish, helps direct registration, leads AP testing, and countless other things. Libby is a gentle soul with a unique approach to our high school students. She is thorough, intentional, and focused in her service to the students at Irwin. She is so selfless and helpful that it really uplifts the entire school environment. What more can we say? Libby, we are grateful that you are part of our student service team. Congratulations. Finally, we are so pleased to honor our social worker of the year, Miss Lauren Ward. Lauren has worked with us since 2013. She is currently the social worker at Reynolds High School, but has also served at Bell Elementary in the past. Lauren brings a quiet confidence to her work with high schoolers and their families. Lauren's nominators shared the following: "She is an inspiring, hardworking, and smart practitioner. I can't imagine a person working more thoughtfully with students, families, and teachers. Ms. Ward continuously goes above and beyond for our students. She builds meaningful relationships that help students succeed in the classroom while feeling safe and cared for. She communicates with teachers and staff regarding their needs and is one of my go-tos when seeking advice and guidance for specific students. She is a key contributor at our school and one of the people that I look up to most. She is tireless in her efforts to serve as many students as she can, and she never seems to lose energy or passion for helping students. Despite immense challenges, and setbacks. Buncombe County Schools Student Services are so proud and appreciative that Rocket Country shares Lauren with us each day. Thank you, Lauren.
Madam Chair, if I could just say something at this time about our counselors and social workers. We had a situation at Irwin High School this week, and shout out to the counselors, our crisis recovery team. Is that Shane? To you, to Shannon, and for everyone that touched those children at Irwin this week. I very much appreciate what they did.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Jackson, and members of the board. It is my pleasure to introduce our curriculum feature this evening to feature our instructional technology department. Technology, it is no surprise, has changed very rapidly. Before the pandemic, it was changing rapidly, and it continued to do so at a much higher rate after the pandemic. The few years that we were on remote and hybrid instruction really spurred us into a new reliance on technology, not only for instruction, but also for communication. When our students entered the classroom, our teachers had a lot of new ideas to bring back with them, and they didn't want to have instruction that was totally digital or totally remote, but wanted to also value offline activities. And so we tend to call that blended learning these days. And so we have Janet Frazier, who's our media technology specialist, who will come up tonight to make a presentation on what is blended learning. And she's also going to cover how we have been able to leverage our COVID relief funds, also known as ESSER funding, for blended learning, all in the spirit of continued academic recovery. So Janet, I'll have you come on up in just right now, and then Robert Frisbee will come up in just a moment to help out.
Madam Chair, Dr. Jackson, and members of the board, my name is Janet Frazier, as Ms. Reed just told you, and I'm the Instructional Technology and Media Systems Facilitator for Buncombe County Schools. I'm excited to share an overview of blended learning with you this evening in our schools. The goal of blended learning is to support and provide the very best strategies for teaching and learning in our classrooms. Blended learning, as you've just heard, is the combination of online active engaged learning and offline active engaged learning to provide the most effective learning environment for our students. Our district's digital learning initiative set the stage for the transition to powerful blended learning by providing a sufficient network infrastructure in our schools, the availability of hotspots for student internet access at home, and one-to-one devices for all staff and students that allowed us to provide effective distance and remote learning during the pandemic. And we were well prepared to do so. Before COVID, a foundation of using devices in education was laid through a detailed 30-hour professional development for staff. It included learning management systems like Canvas, Seesaw, and Google Classroom, effective digital tools, and the pedagogy for using these tools in classrooms. The professional development is called BEST, Blending Educational Strategies Together. Our teachers also set their own digital goals as part of their professional development plans. The foundation was built, and it was strong and lasting. Blended learning, practically speaking, happened in pockets as digital learning facilitators taught, co-taught, and collaborated. The readiness varied from teacher to teacher, but it was definitely growing. When COVID hit, thanks to the foresight of leadership in our system and the background that our teachers had from the diligent work of the technology team and those teachers, we were able to prepare our educators in 2 short days by shoring up the professional development and practice that so many had been through. Many tools were explored to find the best ways to connect with students, and we were a step ahead of the game. Today, as a result of learning, exploration, and coaching through one of the hardest times the U.S. has ever experienced, devices have become second nature in the classroom. There is a sense of dependence on tools that we have found can help students access content or to share their voice. There is a sense of independence that students gain by using the device to take ownership of their own learning. We are able to reach students where they are, and co-teaching and collaboration are the new norm. Our blended learning coaches can frequently be heard talking about how technology sparks ideas and helps students to have the access they need, whether it is a language learner needing a translation, a student learning to code, or research the new-fashioned way. From Screencastify screen recording for video instructions or responses, to learning management systems like Seesaw for our youngest students, and hundreds of active Google Classrooms or Canvas courses for our older students, to interactive lessons in the ClassKick or formative platforms. Technology through blended learning is leveling the playing field for our students. At this time, I would like to share a brief video of blended learning in action in our schools.
Every day is different. We have to be creative, collaborative with teachers and with students to understand what they need and match them with technology to support whatever their needs are.
Nice job! I hit home because all the way that one.
Yeah. Smart. Okay, what's our next letter in tip? It's your turn. What's our next letter in the word tip? We just did T.
That moment when students solve a problem or make a connection, that light bulb comes on and they realize, I know how to do this. I figured this out. Seeing that same expression come over a teacher's face when she says, my students now get it. They understand.
The number of resources available is growing exponentially, and the ways that we can support students is becoming more individualized so that we can reach every student where they are. Collaboration with instructional and other district coaches has developed into true teams working together to support the teaching and learning in our buildings.
Technology is powerful because it shows students who may never have even stepped out of our state that there's this whole world out there and they can learn about it and visit it from right here in their classroom in Buncombe County using the tools, the technology tools that we provide.
Buncombe County has historically been a visionary leader in North Carolina. We were prepared to move to effective remote teaching and learning during the pandemic and continue to write grants to provide students with emerging technology.
I get to help teachers unlock their superpowers. They have these amazing pedagogical skills, and I can come in and help them level up. Perhaps their instructional delivery or streamline their workflow to make room for more important things with a new tech tool that they haven't used before. Or I can bring in a blended learning model and help them create some really intentional time and space for personalization of learning or for giving interventions that maybe they didn't have room for before in their school day.
A continued shared vision by county leadership and our blended learning team will further advance the blended learning environment necessary to accomplish our BCS priorities and initiatives and the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction standards.
Come on, you got this. Come on. Yes. Okay, you got this. Okay, come on. Go, 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 go. Stop. Yes.
And now our Director of Technology Services, Robert Frisbee, is going to share about our Technology Services team.
Thanks, Janet. Madam Chair, Dr. Jackson, members of the board, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about our team in Technology Services. We have our own why. And what is that why? That why has to do with us being able to provide the best. And what we want to do is to continue to provide the best in blended learning, the best in digital teaching, the best in student opportunities and experiences, the best in network and internet access and it being safe, along with cybersecurity safety and building safety. So what is it that we do? I had one of the new board members ask me what all we take care of. So I thought I'd do a little Wordle. And if you can make all that out, you can see what we do. We do a lot. There's a lot of things on that list that we take care of. We take care of everything from blended learning to Zoom and everything in between. But we do have our staff. And I want to talk a little bit about our staff. We have field techs that take care of our staff and our students in the buildings every day. We have take care of asset tag management and all the capital that comes into the district. We have a lot of low voltage, meaning things that do not take an electrician, our projectors, our smart boards, our intercoms, our telephones, all those things we take care of in the buildings. We also have Power School. We have 4 positions that take care and help supervise and help the school data managers in all the Power School data. We also have, of course, our blended learning coaches, which you saw in that video there, that they are so valuable, along with being able to help our library media specialists with Janet's position. Also, our network team, taking care of this new thing called cybersecurity, and it takes up a lot of our time and effort for us to get in the game. Tina Thorpe can tell you about all the things we went through this past year to get our cybersecurity insurance. It was a 16-page document that said, "Thou shalt." And we had to go through that document and make sure we were doing those things. And again, I want to make sure that everybody knows that we do take care of everything that you saw in that video, from blended learning to being able to access Zoom and all the data that goes along with that. With that said, I want to talk a little bit about our motto in technology. Our motto is, here we do teamwork, we do help, we do it with respect and punctuality, we communicate, we listen, and motivate. We do great things. And with that said, I want to make sure that I acknowledge this team's work over the past 3 years plus in being able to do what they've done. They've been resolute, they've been adaptive, they've been professional, while also continuing to provide exceptional customer service to our staff and everybody involved. So I want to make sure that we thank them today, thank them for doing their best and being the best while we're on the topic of best. So thank you.
Thank you. And can we recognize?
Here, if they'll stand, like Madam
I know,
Chair
rise
asked
to
you
the
do,
occasion, guys.
just to let them.
Thank you, Mr. Frisbee. Do any of the board members, I just need to say I couldn't exist without the help of our technology department. In fact, they all run away when they see me coming. They just know. But thank you so much.
Yeah. Madam Chair, if I may, just a quick, to say thank you to the team as well. I attended the mid-year graduation ceremony this past weekend, which was remarkable. And it was notable that there was a significant number of graduates from the Virtual Academy. And so I think about what it takes to make that happen, for those students that that learning style fits the best, right? That's catering to our students' needs in the purest sense, right? And I know that's because of the hard work that you all do. You enable them to have that option and to graduate with that capacity. And also just the heavy lift that happened during COVID with remote learning. I have 2 students in schools now that went through, and just the incredible amount of work that must have taken to make that work as smoothly as it did. I mean, my child could sit there and go through curriculum, with their teacher live for a year and a half or something. So it was just an amazing feat, and I am just forever grateful for everything y'all do. And IT is something that people forget about. Like they take it for granted often because you don't have to think about it when it works. You think about it a lot when it doesn't work. So thank you so much for keeping us working and all these opportunities that you give to our kids through your hard work. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, I just want to echo that. I really appreciate too all of the work that was done especially during the pandemic, because y'all were key in providing safe learning environments for our students. And we were more than just one step. We were steps and steps and steps beyond so many in the state and the country,
and
quite
boy,
honestly.
wasn't it fun.
Yeah. So thank you very much, because I truly do believe that y'all were instrumental in keeping this community going and safe during that difficult time. So thank you.
Thank you again. It's now time for public comment.
You want me to read that?
Yeah, hold on just a second. You're dead? Well, our attorney's alive over here, and we're going to let him read the rules.
Good evening, everyone. As a reminder, speakers will be called in the order in which they signed up. All speakers will have 3 minutes to speak and must adhere to the guidelines set forth in board policy. I'll let these folks.
You're going to let technology leave now?
Mass exodus.
Just a minute. Wait just a minute. Okay. Ship just tilted a little bit, didn't it?
No, it didn't.
All right, so all speakers will have precisely 3 minutes to speak, and there will be a timer, and you will hear a buzz when your 3 minutes is up. And so we ask all members who speak at public comment to refrain from profane or vulgar language, making threats, or discussing confidential student or employee information. Please address the board as a whole. And certainly while the board is listening to your comments, the board generally does not respond directly to public comments.
All right, we have 6 people tonight for public comment. I will also give you a warning at 1 minute with my hands and at 30 seconds. First of all, we have mic, please state your name and the district that represents.
Good evening, Dr. Jackson, Madam Chair, and members of the board. My name is Kelly Smith, and I am a speech-language pathologist at North Windy Ridge Intermediate School and North Buncombe High School. My son attends preschool at North Buncombe High School. I am here today to urge you to protect our preschools from becoming affiliated with NC Pre-K. There are 4 preschools that work directly with career technical education programs across our district. Irwin, T.C. Robertson, A.C. Reynolds, and North Buncombe High Schools have amazing preschool centers that offer unique opportunities to the children they serve and the students who take part in the CTE course. Since admission in the fall, my son has participated in the homecoming parade, visited the agriculture department, attended several pep rallies, and made weekly visits to the bookmobile. In addition, the preschoolers have formed relationships with high school students and teachers that are lasting and impactful. The benefits to the high school students are countless. The true value and positive effects of this program reach beyond the walls of the high school and stay with these students as they make decisions about their future. The possibility of an affiliation with NC Pre-K was not explained to parents, but rather stumbled upon. After expressing a desire for my son to repeat preschool in the fall, I was met with the unfortunate news that it wouldn't be an option. He has a mid-July birthday, and we feel that he needs more maturity in order to be successful in kindergarten. It was during this conversation that I learned of NC Pre-K. Their policies dictate that children turning 5 before August 31st will not be admitted because they are deemed kindergarten eligible. I left the interaction with far more questions than answers, which led me to reach out to other parents, preschool providers, and teachers. I read up on the program and sent emails to the decision makers with questions about the changes that the preschool would have to undergo in order to be deemed NC Pre-K certified. The lack of transparency when I posed these questions was a red flag. I fear that if and when this change occurs, these preschool programs will look drastically different and will not serve to benefit our employees, the preschoolers, and the high school students as they do now. These programs are a wonderful asset to staff members who work at these high school locations or nearby. It is no secret that Asheville is in the midst of a child care crisis, with many more children in the area than programs who can serve them. These child care programs have extensive wait lists, hefty application fees, and may not be conveniently located. Being able to drop our children off in or near our place of work is a wonderful gift to employees. Taking away valuable spots from employees and their families while restricting the ages to 3- and 4-year-olds only does not promote expansion to the program, but prevents access to the people who benefit most. Please save these programs as they are essential for the well-being, happiness, and retention of our BCS employees. I am pleading with you to take action.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, next we have a Dr. Nissa Rain. All right, Dr. Nissa Rain. Oh, pardon me, I'm so sorry.
Perfect.
Please go ahead and state your name and what district represents you.
Hi, members of the board. Thank you so much for having us. I am Nissa Rain. I am from North Buncombe, which is Weaverville. Or that's where my kids are going. So I guess tonight has been really great watching all these counselors get all of these, they're getting recognized for all the hard work that they do. Your job is one of the hardest. Teachers' jobs are way one of the hardest, right? And going back to what Rob was saying about the giving students access to online, it's not just so that they can learn in a pandemic that is still ongoing, but 500 people, just by the way, 500 people died in the United States yesterday from COVID. COVID's not gone. So what I'm asking is for great programs, for us to be the best, both at online learning, giving students that are immunocompromised, they might have family members with cancer, they can't get COVID, they can't afford to get it. That is a death sentence for their family members. So I'm asking the board to let's try to be our best. I was actually gonna say that. And the best for from my understanding, is y'all have already done the work. You guys put forth some of the most stringent masking legislation, or not, it's not mandates, they're safety measures, right? So y'all put forth some of the strongest COVID safety measures nationwide, and you had a return to school plan, which y'all followed, right? It had off-ramps and on-ramps for community spread. Please, let's go back to that. COVID's not over. It would be so easy to just fix it that way. One way we can start fixing it is to take measurements of stuff. We can't just make decisions. I can't imagine making a decision without data. I don't know if y'all make decisions without data. I can't do it. So in here, the carbon dioxide level, which is a measure of ventilation, right? So the higher this is, the more likely you're breathing in air that somebody else has already breathed out, right? That's carbon dioxide. You breathe out carbon dioxide. So the higher this is, the less filtrated it is. It reads 1134, which is moderate CO2 level. Both my sons took this into their book bag to their classrooms. It was well over 2,000, which is super high, for more than 3 days in a row. And it's an issue of ventilation. And going back to what the previous speaker said about transparency, we need more data, we need transparency. We need to know what's going on. I've asked for facilities management to provide me information, and I have gotten nowhere with that. I've reached out to you board members, and I know that some of y'all have responded, and I really appreciate that, because I'm also fighting like Buncombe County Health and Human Services as well. But they know what the guidance is. It's gonna take an act of bravery to stand up and follow the science instead of the political pressures coming at y'all from all angles. I know y'all, I know. But the fact of all of this is, thank y'all for what you do. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next we have Logan Davis. All right, please state your name and which district represents you.
Good evening, Dr. Jackson and members of the board. My name is Logan Davis, and I am a senior at T.C. Robertson High School. In honor of Career and Technical Education Month, I want to take the opportunity to discuss one of the career and technical student-led organizations that is offered in Buncombe County Schools and has been a special part of my life the past 2 years. FCCLA, or Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, offers members the opportunity to expand their leadership potential and develop life skills that prepare them for their future. Our members have the opportunity to make a positive difference in today's world through participation in competitive events, serving in leadership positions, attending conferences across the nation, networking with youth leaders, and developing essential college and career-ready skills. I currently hold the position as the State Vice President of Programs. In only just a year of my term, I have learned several leadership skills, such as public speaking, responsibility, decision-making, problem-solving, and teamwork. The most essential skill for this position is teamwork. As a state executive council, we teamed up and discovered a way to implement bullying prevention by advocating for a change through our conferences, monthly newsletters, websites, and toolkit, which is available to all our members in North Carolina. Next month, my term on the State Executive Council unfortunately comes to an end. During my term, I have been able to attend incredible events including 6 different conferences, such as the CTE Summer Conference, the FCCLA National Conference in San Diego, NC Elevate, and 3 separate fall leadership meetings led by the State Executive Council in which over 1,000 North Carolina FCCLA members attended. I honestly would not be standing here today if it wasn't for the support I've had working behind the scenes. I want to give a huge thank you to the entire CTE department of Buncombe County Schools, especially the CTE director, Mr. Taylor Baldwin, T.C. Robertson's very own career development coordinator, Ms. Amy White, my CTE teacher and FCCLA advisor, Ms. Ashley Lowe, our former superintendent, Dr. Tony Baldwin, and of course our new superintendent, Dr. Rob Jackson, for loving the CTE department as much as we do. I also want to recognize that 3 out of the 4 girls serving on the 2022-2023 State Executive Council for NC-FCCLA are from Buncombe County Schools, and that speaks volumes about the support we've received from our district. I want to give one last thank you to the BCS board members for allowing me the opportunity to leave a positive impact on thousands of members in North Carolina. I will forever have a special place in my heart for career and technical education because of the opportunity I was given. Thank you for supporting CTE and career and technical student organizations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Carson Hollefeld, pardon me.
Hi, my name is Carson Hollfield, and I'm from District 8. Good evening, board members. My name is Carson Hollfield, State President of North Carolina FCCLA. My job as State President is to present leadership, attend FCCLA board meetings, such as Operating Policy Committee, financial meetings, and also be a role model and inspire others to serve their community and make a positive difference in important decisions and engaging with students from all across NC with the role I have taken. The amount of support is so strong within FCCLA and amazing advisors, officers, and directors I work with. Along with the job of State President, I am President of North Buncombe chapter as well. On that level, our actions in the past 2 years have impacted students and our community's lives. We have made goodie bags for nursing homes in Madison County, sold donuts, made candles, fundraised money to the National Leadership Conference in San Diego, California, and have welcomed new members into our chapter. Our goal as a chapter is to serve our community and let them know what FCCLA is and what we do. To me, FCCLA isn't just a program or an after-school club. It builds character, grows social skills, and can inspire you to go for your skills in a STAR event project, and to get your direction on a future job you may want to pursue through career connections. Making a bullying prevention toolkit with my fellow officers was an amazing accomplishment we have made this year. Many students from young ages to even adults struggle with mental health and get bullied. We have brought awareness to the situation and have shared the toolkit with all advisors in the state of North Carolina to share with students. Hosting fall leadership meetings in Western, Eastern, and Central North Carolina was such a good turnout. We informed advisors and students of our upcoming events, such as State Leadership Conference in March, and taught them about STAR events and planning process. I am pleased to say that FCCLA has impacted me and other students across the county, state, and nation. I've not only made some amazing friends, but I've met so many eager students that have just been so thrilled to be in FCCLA and what that means to them and their chapter. If there's one thing I've gained from serving my term, it is I'm prepared for the real world, and I can say that I've made a professional appearance of myself. FCCLA has impacted me by preparing to be professional, to always be willing to sign up for the hard job when no one else will, and there's always something out there for you. You just have to be brave enough to take risks and opportunities. Impact is a definition of effect on someone or something. I can say I've made a positive impact on FCCLA with bringing a positive environment and helping others when needed. I want to give a big personal thank you to Buncombe County CTE Department and the support and opportunities it has given me and other students. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Gemma Richards. Please state your name and district.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm Gemma Richards, a sophomore at North Buncombe High School. Today I want to talk to you about my involvement in FCCLA through FCS courses, which have impacted me tremendously. It all started in 7th grade when I took my very first family and consumer science class, exploring interpersonal relationships in childcare. I learned essential life skills such as interpersonal communication and critical thinking. It was here that I was also introduced to FCCLA. I joined and immediately knew that it was a second home. Using the principles and skills I was learning in my relationships and childcare class, I created the Imagination Station project for FCCLA. Hosting it at my school, I invited teachers' children from North Buncombe schools to come and be creative. This project expanded my leadership skills and taught me the importance of creativity in one's life. With this project, I competed in one of FCCLA's competitive events, Focus on Children, and won a gold medal at state conference. The pandemic was in full swing the next year, and everyone felt disconnected. This inspired me and fellow FCCLA members to handwrite a letter to every single student at our school. We competed at state conference and national conference and won a gold medal both times. With an even broader understanding of effective communication, this project gave me the confidence to turn a difficult year into a year that I followed my dreams by inspiring me to run for state office. I was elected as the 2021-2022 Vice President of Programs, which allowed me to learn crucial skills that would help me in the workplace later on. That year, I competed in another competitive event titled Leadership. I won a gold medal at state and a silver medal at national conference, but more importantly, I delved into my leadership qualities and improved my public speaking and time management skills. I was then offered the chance to be the 2022-2023 membership consultant for North Carolina FCCLA. I said yes and have had an amazing year with my fellow Buncombe County state officers. Saying yes to FCS and FCCLA has led me up to this moment, and I wouldn't have done anything differently. I would like to thank the Buncombe County CTE and FCS departments, for I wouldn't be here without their support. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lastly, we have a Shayna Peel. Please state your name and district.
Yes. Hello, my name is Shanna Peel. I'm a special ed teacher at Woodfin Elementary, currently out of the classroom as I serve for the president of Buncombe County Association of Educators. And I do want to start by saying I'm a little intimidated by following such engaging speakers. I think you guys did a great job. So I also wanted to share with Dr. Jackson that I am also a proud product of Buncombe County Schools. I attended Emma Elementary, Irwin Middle, and Irwin High School. And also, Dr. Jackson, I wanted you to know that your listening tour of all of our schools is a tremendous undertaking. I know it's exceptionally time-consuming to visit each school for not only one quick visit, but a second all-day-long visit. I find myself wondering when you sleep. I can only imagine that the space you're holding in your mind and your heart as you listen to the stories of our staff, students, and parents across our community. I commend the step that you've been taking as our new leader because you've given us a gift, the gift of feeling heard. And when people feel heard and understood, that's when we can take steps to build a team. So as a leader for BCAE, I often take these same steps. As I visit our buildings and talk with staff, I ask many of the same questions. What is going well this year? How long have you been doing your job, your role? Why did you get into education? And what could be going better for you in your job? As a district, we have a lot to celebrate, namely our staff. As a district, we also have much room to grow, namely how we treat our staff. As we all know, the number one predictor of student success is high-quality educators. How can we retain and recruit these high-quality educators if they have to work 2 or 3 jobs and rely on public assistance to scrape by? New curriculum and digital resources are really nice, but won't replace a high-quality educator who can focus on their teaching because they're not worried about paying their light bill. Or replace the students who arrive consistently and on time to school because we actually have bus drivers to drive those buses. With less and less money coming from Raleigh for our schools, we have to prioritize. As a community, we have to take action. I want to thank the board profusely for putting our students first by advocating for a change to the school calendar law. In this budget season, I implore you to continue to put our students first. Make the changes necessary in the budget to pay all of our staff a living wage and prevent any more cuts to our staff as our funding dwindles.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes public comment.
Thank you, sir. We are now moving to FCCLA exiting.
The rock star row.
No, you guys really did well. Thank you, too. The first item on the action agenda is the budget amendment number 3, Ms. Thorpe, and I think she has representatives here. Hi, guys. Are there questions from the board about this item?
I had one quick question.
Okay. Would you guys come forth, please? Ms. Thorpe is out.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. Yeah, I just in the narrative that precedes the amendment, sort of the chart that shows where the funds are being added and moved around. Can you just, for my benefit and probably the benefit of the public, can you just explain the public school fund and how it's adjusted sort of mid-year like this, and then how that's implemented as a budget amendment, and also this ABC transfer process? Just it mentions that the ABC transfers were approved to move funds from one place to the other, and just speak to that process just a little bit as well.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Members of the board, Madam Chair, Dr. Jackson. The State Board of Education provides some flexibility to move funds between different PRCs, and many LEAs, like ourselves, make the most of that opportunity. That means that we can move funds into PRCs that we can pay staff, both certified and non-certified. That gives us cost-saving strategies, because then we can, because the state covers the workers' compensation for state-paid employees automatically, and any leave payments that are necessary, which means we can then save local money, because if those employees were paid out of local, then we would have to cover those expenses out of local funds. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much. Yeah, I noticed there was a pretty significant sum, added to personnel in this, which was good to see. And so I just wanted some more insight into how that all works. So thank you.
Just as a follow-up to that, I just want to make sure. So like when I'm seeing money being removed from at-risk student services, it doesn't necessarily mean that money isn't being spent on that. It just means it's being spent on personnel for that.
It just gives us a little more flexibility. It doesn't mean that we're cutting any money that we're paying, that we're spending on at-risk students. Mm-hmm. We're just moving the money strategically so we can get the best use of it. Like the reason we move funding out of the supplies doesn't mean that we're not offering funds for supplies to our schools. We do that out of local money.
No, I get that. I guess I just want to make sure, because the two biggest chunks of money that, we're essentially seeing a reduction were disadvantaged student support funding and then at-risk student services. So would it be accurate that that money that's leaving is really still supporting those things? It's just supporting those things with personnel and being allocated on a different line item?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. I was
Thanks.
going to ask the very same thing, so thank you for helping to clear that up.
Thank you. All right, I need a motion to approve the budget amendment number 3.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next item on the action agenda is the entrance and lobby reconfigurations. We accept the GMP and authorize the CMAR to proceed. This is Mr. Fearley. Are there questions for Mr. Fearley? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I would like to enthusiastically make a motion to approve this. It will tremendously enhance the entryway into Reynolds, which is sorely needed, and will add a tremendous amount of security for our students and our staff for years to come. So very important, and I very much appreciate the work of the facilities and the design team and Mr. Huff, everybody that put the hard work in designing this new entryway and getting it to this point, because it is very much needed. So thank you.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I get a second to that motion?
I'll second that. So I was just going to say, as the Robertson representative, I would happily second that to the Reynolds, who I know has historically always been a rival. But we're going to work collaborative on this.
Works.
Is other questions from board members? All right, that takes care of it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is the approval of the Wide Area Network WAN contract, Robert Frisbee. Are there questions for Mr. Frisbee? Oh, boy, he looked out. Could I get a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? North Buncombe High School, use of capital outlay athletic allotment. This is Lisa Sharp and school representative, which happens to be on the front row here. And are there questions from the from the board about, y'all just be quiet over here. Are there questions from the board about this item?
No question, just a comment that lawnmowers are very important for baseball and softball field. I know that for sure because my lawnmower has been used at other facilities for that, and we definitely need them, don't we?
Are you recommending the use of yours at North Buncombe?
It's already been used.
Could I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Any questions from board members? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Cane Creek Middle School, use of capital outlay athletic allotment. This is Lisa Sharp, and I believe their school representatives right up here in the right. Yeah. Are there questions for on this item? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll enthusiastically move
I bet
on
you
this
will.
as well. Our middle school basketball team plays basketball very assertively, and they need padding for the wall. So this is one of the items. Ms. Brett, yeah. So,
You don't want anybody to splat on that wall, is that correct?
No, intense basketball games in there. So yeah, thank you.
Could I get a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? T.C. Robertson, use of capital outlay allotment. Lisa Sharp, boy, your name's on here a bunch, honey. And school representative, are there questions for T.C. Robertson? Hearing none. I wish we could create one or two. Questions, that is.
Well, I can ask questions.
A motion to approve.
So moved, happily.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this item? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. The next item is the consent agenda. We have the minutes from January 12 from the regular open session, the personnel report, and could I get a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Thank you. Second? Any questions from anybody on this? Reminder, you got an addendum handed to you as we came in this evening. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are removing policy 2410 from the information agenda for further research and development, and we'll be addressing that at a future time. In the information agenda, I have the financial reports, the notification of informal construction and repair projects for change orders, policy 4240 and 7312, child abuse and related threats to child safety, policy 7241, drug and alcohol testing of commercial motor vehicle operators. And our announcement is that next month, it'll be March the 2nd, when we meet, and we will have work session and closed session beginning at 4. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Is there anybody that wants to discuss that? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.